Act as if you're already a millionaire. Think and view the world from Rich Energy. Written and published by Rich Audiobooks. Millionaires don't chase money. They carry the frequency that attracts it. Money is never the first move. Energy is. You don't get rich and then feel abundant. You feel abundant, and then life mirrors that back with money, opportunity, and overflow. Rich energy isn't reserved for those with 7 figures in their account. It's a state of being, an inner posture, a vibration you choose now. Before the wire transfers, before the outer applause. Rich energy is the silent power humming from your body before the world even knows your name. Most people live backwards, waiting for external proof before allowing themselves to believe. Waiting until a deal closes before they walk with confidence. Waiting for the raise before they speak with authority. They wait. They hesitate. But millionaires? They decide. They calibrate to that state long before their reality has caught up. Their power lives in the now. To activate rich energy, you must first understand the difference between lack energy and wealthy identity. Lack begs. It hustles. It clings to crumbs and compromises its essence for approval. It feels needy, nervy, anxious. It's stuck in the illusion that material wealth validates spiritual worth. It waits for permission. Rich energy does the opposite. It claims, it creates, it owns. There is no begging, only pure knowing. I am that. I already have it. That's the energetic backbone of wealth. Chapter 1. What is rich energy? This is why strategy alone doesn't work. You can read all the finance books, build a 10-step plan, budget and hustle and learn to market, and still feel broke inside. Without the frequency, it's empty execution. But when you turn inward and become the energy of wealth first, your reality bends around you. You don't chase anything, it comes, naturally, magnetically, obediently. Money is energy. It listens, it follows certainty. It respects who you believe you are. If you vibrate from lack, money avoids you no matter how hard you work. If you vibrate from overflow, money can't help but match that truth. The secret? You don't become wealthy from effort alone. You become wealthy because you remember who you are. You awaken the millionaire consciousness that's already coded within you. You stop striving and start embodying. Rich energy is not loud. It's not boastful. It's not desperate. It's quiet conviction mixed with divine alignment. It is your confident presence at the table, even if your suit is off-brand and your car has a dent. It's how your soul enters the room before your words do. It's how your decisions reflect belief, not fear. Every email you send, every conversation you enter, every dollar you spend or keep, it's all a reflection of who you think you are. Rich energy upgrades that self-image instantly. So, how do you tune in? It starts with a feeling. Close your eyes, breathe, picture the version of you who already has it all, the wealth, the freedom, the impact, the joy. Who are they being? How do they stand? How do they move through a room? What decisions do they make from that level of knowing? This isn't imagination for play. This is instruction for activation. Feel it fully. Let your body respond to the images. Let your nervous system calibrate higher. That's how you install the frequency. When you wake up in the morning, don't think, what do I lack? Ask, what would my millionaire self focus on today? That's rich energy. It's devotion to the identity, not the illusion. You do the daily things from a place of abundance, not desperation. You trust the inner vision, not the outer noise. You stop running after money and start walking as money. Powerful, attractive, clear. This is not fake it till you make it. That paradigm is broken, heavy, performative. You're not pretending. You're becoming. You're remembering what's already you. You're speaking life into that dormant knowing and saying, I don't care if anyone else sees it yet. I do, and that's enough. And just like that, the universe begins rearranging on your behalf. When you embody rich energy, it rewrites what you tolerate. You stop begging for scraps. You stop accepting doubt from others. You stop playing small for comfort. You walk into rooms like you belong, not because of your bank account, but because of your being. That's the new standard. That's the new normal. Rich energy doesn't manifest just dollars. It manifests experiences, freedom, choices, peace. It brings a calm to your nervous system, a sparkle in your eye. It's how you sip your coffee in the morning, not because you're rushing, but because you're savoring the moment, like the wealthy do, present, powerful, and prepared to receive. You don't wait for money to believe you're worthy of wealth. You decide, you align, you feel it, and reality follows. Every morning, you look in the mirror and say, I already am, and the world is catching up. Because you're not becoming rich, you are rich. Now act like it. Chapter 2. Millionaires believe in themselves. A millionaire isn't someone who waits to be chosen. They choose themselves. You are not waiting for a sign. You are not waiting for permission. You are not hoping someone looks your way and finally sees your worth. You are the worth. You are the sign. You are the energy. Millionaires don't need validation. They validate themselves. Not arrogantly, but righteously. Because they know who they are before the world reflects it back. And that's exactly what makes the world respond. Wealth starts in the mirror. Before the bank account ever mirrors success, the mind must, the energy must, the identity must. You cannot trick the universe into wealth by acting like someone you don't believe you are. The law doesn't respond to effort alone. It reacts to alignment. It reacts to who you believe yourself to be when no one is watching. And here is the truth. Millionaires are made in silence, long before their wins are televised. So the first decision you make is this. I am someone who believes in themselves. Fully, unshakably. Because self-belief isn't an escape from fear. It's a frequency that says, even if I'm scared, I move anyway. Millionaire energy is rooted in possibility, not proof. You choose yourself boldly when there's nothing yet to show, and that choice becomes the cause of everything that later shows up. Your inner script is the architecture of your future income. What are you rehearsing when you wake up in the morning? I'm not enough? I don't know how. Who am I to do this? If that is your subconscious soundtrack, then success can't stick, because wealth will never land where it isn't welcome. And it is your job to become a welcoming space for abundance. Change the internal beliefs, and you change the external reality. Here is the truth no one will say out loud. Rich people aren't necessarily smarter or more deserving. They just believe in their own power more than most. In that belief, they move differently. They ask differently. They declare differently.
Your job is not to
figure life out. Your job is to sit boldly in the energy of I belong in the room, even if your hands are shaking as you knock. Self-belief is magnetic. It pulls powerful people toward you. It invites uncommon opportunities because your field begins to broadcast I am the source, not the seeker. You're no longer hunting for the next external answer because you already carry it. That shift alone collapses time. So shift. Today, not later. Not after you make X amount. Not when you get more credentials, more people approving your path, more visible evidence. You become the evidence. Stand in front of the mirror and let your eyes find your own. Feel that rising, quiet insistence. I am choosing me. I'm not waiting to be discovered. I'm discovering myself right now. Breathe into that. Let it take up space inside of your chest. Let it swell. That's millionaire energy. That's the new foundation. You do not need to be loud to be powerful. Real self-belief is not arrogance or ego. It's gentle certainty. It's peace in your posture. It's calm in your presence, because you are anchored in knowing who you are, even when circumstances haven't caught up yet. You are not your doubts. You are not your old story. You are not your bank account balance. You are something much deeper, much more commanding than all of it. And the moment you stop making your confidence conditional, the universe will move to meet you. So let this be the day you stop negotiating your value. Wealthy minds don't convince, they declare. Wealthy minds don't perform, they radiate. You are the power source. And when you believe it, reality falls into position like iron to a magnet. Repeat it mentally, brutally, beautifully. I am the source. I am the belief that brings my vision to life. I am already who I came here to be. The rest is just alignment catching up. The external will mirror the internal. It always does. But the internal must go first. So make your inner world rich with belief, saturated with certainty, filled with the emotional texture of I deserve this. I am ready now. I am meant for this. You were never meant to be small. You are not here to tiptoe your way to just getting by. You are here to lead your energy like a millionaire leads a boardroom, with clear eyes and sovereign presence. Not because of what you have, but because of who you are. Belief isn't built. Belief is chosen. Choose it now. The wealth is already responding. Chapter 3. Millionaires create opportunity. They don't beg for it. Opportunity doesn't knock. Millionaires don't wait for a miracle moment, a lucky break, or someone to finally give them a chance. They become the ones who open the invisible door inside themselves and walk directly through it. That energy, that internal shift from waiting to creating, is exactly how wealth is magnetized. Because here's the truth. The universe doesn't reward passivity, it rewards power. It responds to decisiveness, clarity, and creative intention. When you act from the frequency of a millionaire, you stop looking for permission, and you begin offering value. You stop wondering if someone will choose you, and you choose yourself again and again, until the world has no choice but to reflect that decision. It starts in the energy, it echoes in the thoughts, but it lives in how you move, how you enter a room, how you command your reality. The financially struggling mindset whispers, maybe someone will notice me. The rich energy mindset roars, watch what I build. This isn't arrogance. This is ownership. The rich don't chase, they create. They don't shrink in the face of rejection, they alchemize it. When one door doesn't open, they walk around the building and build their own front entrance. Millionaires don't see rejection as personal attack. They recognize it as divine redirection. Every no becomes spiritual scaffolding for a bigger yes that was meant only for them. That's emotional power. That's energetic leadership. That's rich energy at work. Shifting from beggar energy to builder energy is the difference between hoping the wind changes and becoming the storm. And that power lives inside you now. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are an architect of frequency. The people you admire, the ones who forged empires, scaled brands, wrote their own checks, they all started by making one key decision: to stop waiting. They didn't wait for validation, applause, or the right time. They acted in deep alignment with a vision bigger than their current bank account, stepping into an identity that knew more was already theirs, even before the bank balance proved it. You can beg for scraps or declare your throne, but you cannot do both. You must know, deep in your nervous system, that life bends to courage, that the more audacious your energy becomes, the more the pieces rearrange in your favor, even when you can't see it happening yet. The reality in front of you may still look the same, but your vibration has already remodeled the future. So, what does it look like to stop begging for opportunity and start creating it? It looks like speaking up before you're ready. It looks like launching before you're certain. It looks like choosing to act wealthy in your posture, in your presence, in your problem solving. It looks like no longer asking, "Can I?" and instead declaring, "Watch me." When you move from this place, people feel it. Your frequency becomes persuasive before your pitch is even spoken. Your value becomes obvious before your resume is read. You are no longer in the energy of chase, you're in the energy of choosing. And that creates magnetic gravity. Remember, millionaires aren't waiting to be discovered. They recognize that the discovery happens the moment they discover themselves. Opportunity isn't a lottery ticket, it's a byproduct of belief. And belief is a habit, not a fluke. Every time you affirm your role as creator rather than victim, you stack spiritual evidence into the grid of your reality. Every time you choose to lead rather than linger, ask rather than apologize, build rather than beg, you tune into wealth consciousness. And the universe meets you there. So, close the window that waits to be opened from the outside. Open the door from within. Plant the flag of your desire down so strongly no wind can shake where you stand. Because you, beloved, are not a seeker of external approval. You are the source of infinite opportunity, and it has always been you. Act like it. Speak from it. Build within it. And watch how reality recodes itself around your liberated power. Chapter 4. Millionaires are consistent and persistent. Success isn't a lightning strike. It's a daily decision repeated relentlessly. Millionaires don't wake up motivated every day. They wake up committed. That's the difference between a wish and a manifestation. That's the space where dreams leave the realm of fantasy and begin their transformation into physical reality. Consistency and persistence are not just habits of the wealthy. They are the spiritual backbone of wealth consciousness. Because when everyone else gives up, the millionaire keeps going, not out of desperation, but out of decision. See, rich energy doesn't flinch at slow results. It doesn't panic at detours. It doesn't demand instant proof. Rich energy understands that the invisible is always working, moving, curving, aligning behind the scenes. But that inner architecture only becomes visible to those who chose to keep showing up with expectancy, not exhaustion. Repetition is not boring when it's sacred. Every time you think, act, or feel from a millionaire identity, you're layering energy upon energy until reality has no choice but to submit. Millionaires don't view delay as denial. They view it as divine timing. That shift in perspective is what allows them to persist without collapsing into burnout. You aren't forcing the physical, you are fortifying the energetic. Persistence, for a millionaire, is less about grinding through pain and more about devotion to the vision. It's love made visible through discipline. It's alignment made tangible through routine. You don't keep going because it's hard. You keep going because it's real. Let's be honest. The world loves to worship the big moment, the viral post, the windfall, the overnight success fantasy. But millionaires know the truth. Success is rarely loud. It's silent, invisible, unseen by most. It is born in the small decision made over and over until it becomes inevitable. The daily journaling, the 6 a.m. mindset shift, the act of rewriting your money story again when fear tries to creep back in. All of that counts more than you know. Persistence doesn't mean never resting. Consistency doesn't mean never changing direction. In fact, millionaires pivot often, but the difference is they pivot with power, not panic. When something doesn't work, they don't crumble. They recalibrate, without abandoning the inner certainty that wealth is already on the way. That kind of emotional stability is magnetic. That kind of spiritual momentum bends time. You are not behind. You are building. Every time you choose to embody your wealth identity, even when results haven't shown up yet, you're investing, energetically compounding. And one day, it all flips. The quantum bank account catches up, and the world suddenly calls you lucky. But you know the truth. You've been wealthy for a while now. It just took a minute for reality to catch up. So what do millionaires do in the waiting? They stay moving. They keep their rituals sacred. They treat their vision like it's already done, because in the energetic realm, it is. They take bold little actions that match their future, not their fears. They speak, think, dress, and create from a timeline where overflow is normal, not someday, but now. There's no begging the universe, just broadcasting, just remembering, just repeating. Consistency sharpens clarity. The clearer your internal state, the more potent your external pull. Millionaires don't constantly search for new angles because they trust the power focus. They're not emotional tourists hopping from mindset to mindset. They return to the same place, their identity. Their inner role is the source. They believe in repetition, not because they're obsessive, but because they're intentional. Persistence turns whispers into commands. When you persist, regardless of what the 3D is showing you, you aren't waiting for proof. You are becoming the proof. Walking, breathing evidence of what's possible when the unseen is honored as truth. So ask yourself, where can you double down, not out of fear, but out of knowing? What small acts can you return to that remind your nervous system, your energy field, your subconscious, that you are already the one? Because the moment you decide that consistency is part of your identity, you stop measuring your worth by what's visible today. You stop quitting after week 1. You stop negotiating your dream based on temporary feelings, and in doing so, you accelerate the transformation. You collapse timelines. You become undeniable. Millionaires don't confuse stillness with silence. They don't interpret pauses as punishment. They understand a sacred truth. Every time they persist from a place of already having, the universe listens. It organizes, it builds, it obeys the energetic command. And so you stay the course. You hold the frequency. You choose again, calmly, powerfully, unwaveringly. You already know the ending. That's why you keep going. Chapter 5. Millionaires invest in themselves. The biggest ROI? You. You must know it by now. No one is coming to save you. No sudden event, no random opportunity outside of you will do the heavy lifting. Millionaires know that the most valuable asset they will ever own is their inner world, their mind, their energy, their belief system. They don't wait for life to invest in them. They do it first, again and again. Without apology, everything you pour into yourself multiplies outside of you. When you say yes to becoming more aware, more aligned, more intelligent, more expanded. The universe does what it always does, reflects it. The world becomes a mirror to your internal upgrade. This is not just motivation, it's energetic law. Think about it. When you invest time into learning, into mindset development, into embodiment work, your thoughts get clearer, your emotions begin to regulate, your energy sharpens like a blade, cutting through confusion, insecurity, and distraction. That, right there, is how money finds its way to you without the chase. Millionaires are the ones who choose to become the version of themselves that expects wealth, because they know they've done the internal work to hold it. Most people hesitate when it comes to investing in themselves. They shrink. They say, "I can't afford it," not realizing that that's the exact poverty vibration keeping them stuck. The millionaire doesn't say, "Can I afford it?" They ask, "What version of me does this activate?" Because they know one book, one program, one coach, one environment can be the quantum leap. And if it shifts their mind into wealth frequency, it's already worth every dollar. Investing isn't just about money. It's how you spend your mornings, who you give your evenings to, and what environments you're willing to place yourself in, even when it's uncomfortable, especially when it's uncomfortable. Every decision you make either expands your frequency or contracts it. Millionaires know this. That's why they are intentional with everything. They understand one afternoon spent listening to someone who embodies the life they want is more valuable than 100 hours with people who don't believe in growth. They curate their life like a sacred temple because it holds the energy of their future empire. When you say yes to your growth before the results arrive, you signal to life, "I am serious. I am already her. I don't need proof to trust. My belief is the proof." That signal gets amplified, matched. The universe sends resources, connections, and opportunities that align with the version of you who already exists on the millionaire timeline. Do you feel that? It begins with honoring your expansion. Maybe it's finally buying that course, even when your ego gives you every reason to wait. Maybe it's carving out that 30 minutes a day to read wealth consciousness texts, instead of scrolling through other people's lives. Maybe it's setting aside a percentage of your income not for bills, not for trips, but for pure evolution. When you do that, you're telling life, "I'm not playing a small game. I'm not rehearsing wealth. I am rehearsing being the energy of wealth." Millionaires don't flinch at investing in better rooms, better mentors, better habits. They know discomfort on the front end creates massive quantum leaps on the back. They're not scared to outgrow people, versions, conversations, or content. In fact, they expect to. They don't hoard their resources out of fear of loss. They circulate money, attention, and devotion toward elevation. Why? Because they trust that what they give themselves must return to them multiplied. You're not spending money when you invest in your evolution. You are collapsing time. You're folding space. You're calling the future version of you into the now. That's a power move. That's what millionaires do before they've made their first million, and what they continue well after. Because they know growth never stops, and neither does abundance. So ask yourself right now, what would the millionaire version of me be doing today to honor her evolution? What's she reading? Who's she learning from? What conversations is she pouring into? What old habits has she done tolerating? Don't wait for permission to rise. The real miracle is this. The moment you act like you're worth investing in, the world does too. You become resourced as you become resourceful. You are your greatest investment. Every time you rise within, money finds a new door to enter. Be the one who bet on themselves so deeply, so boldly, so unapologetically, the universe had no choice but to mirror it back in millions. Act rich inside. Act worthy now. Then watch how fast life agrees. Chapter 6. Millionaires endure pain for delayed gratification. Millionaires don't run from the molding fire. They know diamonds are formed under pressure. Pain isn't punishment, it's purification. If you're feeling the heat, the delay, the friction of not yet, that's not scarcity, that's sculpting. Millionaire energy doesn't seek the quick sugar high of an impulsive yes, it holds presence in the tension of becoming. Most people sprint toward ease. They graze on comfort and settle for crumbs. But the wealthy, the truly aligned, they feast on delay. Not because they enjoy the hardship, but because they know who they're becoming. In the wait is the version who can hold the weight of wealth. When you choose the long game, you no longer require external signs to validate your alignment. You know the seed is planted, even if the sprout hasn't cracked through the soil yet. The average mindset screams, "It's not working," at the first sign of resistance. The millionaire mindset whispers, "Good, it's working perfectly. Keep going." You can't microwave vision. You can't shortcut mastery. You don't get $1,000,000 results with $10 patience. Most people quit, not because they are talented, but because they haven't trained their nervous system to sit inside the pause, that sacred stretch between intention and manifestation. So many self-sabotage right before the breakthrough, returning again and again to temporary highs, buying to feel wealthy instead of becoming the energy of wealth, scrolling to numb the pain, discomfort of feeling behind instead of embodying the power of being early, quitting before the magic because it looks too slow. Listen, millionaires are forged in the fire of long-term thinking. They're sculpted in the dark hours where no cheerleader claps, no crowd gathers, and no fruit has ripened yet. They become undeniable through practice, through presence, through delay. While others chase instant, they're storing capacity. They're stretching their container for abundance. And when it pours, they can hold the overflow. This isn't about hustle. It's about holding the emotional weight of vision when the world hasn't caught up with you yet. Can you live from the future while presently lacking proof? Can you act rich while still watching rent dates? Can you say no to temporary pleasure because your future self is richer than this momentary pull? Rich energy doesn't collapse under discomfort. It breathes through it. It welcomes the ache as part of the arrival. Growth hurts because you're meeting the edge of your current identity. When you feel resistance, it's your soul expanding. When you feel doubt, it's your ego crumbling. Growth will feel like dying. This pain you're feeling, it's proof that you said yes to evolution, that you're no longer available for the mediocre timeline, that your standards have risen and your energy is recalibrating. The universe isn't punishing you, it's preparing you. You're being fortified, seasoned, tested not in cruelty, but in craftsmanship. Can you still say "I am a millionaire" when the outside whispers you're broke? That's integrity. That's millionaire faith. Not blind hope, embodied knowing. Be honest. How many times have you shortened your vision just to escape today's tension? How many decisions have been made to avoid feeling broke rather than becoming wealthy? This chapter is a reset, a call to embrace the productive pain of waiting, refining, persisting. Not all pain is to be avoided. Some is alchemical, and here's the truth most won't tell you. The longer you hold vision in the void, the more potent its arrival hits. The more you stay aligned during silence, the louder your blessing echoes when it lands. Every delay, every disappointment, every no, it's setting the stage for the undeniable yes that can't be taken back. Millionaire energy waits, not passively, but in bold communion with what's coming. Discipline isn't deprivation, it's devotion. You're not being denied, you're becoming undeniable. Let the stillness shape your strength. Let the lack teach your legacy. Sit in the fire, not out of martyrdom, but mastery. Millionaires don't just dream big, they hold the vision when it hurts. You're not behind, you're becoming. Let that land in your cells. Breathe it in. Millionaires wait, not because they have to, but because they know who they are on the other side. And so do you. Chapter 7. Millionaires are the master of money, not the servant. You don't serve money. Money serves your vision. There's a moment you cross over. It's subtle, invisible to anyone watching, but undeniable to your soul. You wake up one day and money feels different. It's no longer an elusive force controlling you from afar, dictating your decisions, your peace, your worth. Something shifts. You look at money and you think, "I own this. This works for me." And just like that, you are no longer a servant to the dollar. You are the master. That's rich energy. The broke mindset bows to money. It hesitates, pleads, calculates every dangerous dollar spent. It whispers, "Can I afford this?" While the millionaire mind asks, "Does this align with my vision?" This is the energetic difference between servitude and sovereignty. Wealth begins in how you see yourself in relationship to money, and most people are unconsciously playing the role of the desperate employee, hoping money will toss them favors. But you don't beg for money. You command it through identity. Money is obedient. It listens. It reflects how you treat it, what you believe about it, and how you feel when you think of it. The moment you unconsciously fear it, chase it, or resent it, your energetic command weakens. But when you stand grounded and powerful and say, I am the source, money rushes in like a loyal servant ready to receive orders. You are not here to be controlled by bills, limited by balances, or defined by credit scores. That's a false god. That system was created to keep you looping in survival, forgetting your power. But millionaires, true energetic millionaires, don't look at a bill and flinch. They look and bless it. They see it as a reflection of their ability to circulate energy. Bills don't drain them. They affirm their wealth. Why? Because they trust one truth. Money is infinite, and they are its aligned channel. When you're a money master, you stop waiting for payday. You stop clenching every time you swipe your card. You stop shrinking every time you hear the word debt. You rise above all of it. You understand that money responds not to logic, but to frequency. The higher your frequency, the freer your flow. You don't save from fear. You invest from abundance. You don't spend to escape lack. You spend to activate expansion. You don't hustle for scraps. You move in calm, clear certainty that what you desire is already yours. Mastery over money doesn't mean you ignore it. It means you direct it with intention, not desperation. You give it assignments. You set standards. You tell your money where to go, how to grow, and who to support. Wealth expands when given a destination, a purpose, a vision beyond just survival. This is how the energy of money multiplies, when it knows it's playing a role in a powerful mission. Too many people let money be the boss of their dreams. I can't afford that. Maybe one day, when I have more, I'll start living. Millionaires flip the energy entirely. They don't wait for money to greenlight their desires. They move in the frequency of already having it, and money rushes in to match their motion. They stretch, they lead, they build bridges across not enough. Because they know this secret, money speed is identity speed. Become more, and money will chase you. There's a lie that money is scarce and must be earned in sweat and struggle. Wake up. That narrative was passed down by those still trapped in the energetic prison of enoughness. You were not made to live in financial fear. You were born to create, to expand, to overflow. And money? It's just energy permission to do so on a higher level. So breathe and reclaim your power. Every money decision you make is an energetic declaration. I own money, or money owns me. Let today be the day you flip the script. You look at your bank account, your bills, your income, and you speak with new breath. Let today be the day you flip the script. I lead. And when you reach that level of energetic posture, calm, assured, wealthy before wealth, the universe nods. The flow increases. Because now, you've remembered your position.
You're already a millionaire.
And a true millionaire is always the master of money, never the servant. Chapter 8. Millionaires think bigger than themselves. Wealth is legacy, purpose, impact, not just numbers in an account. Real millionaires think beyond the zeros, beyond the mansions, beyond the designer tags, beyond the bank statements. They think in waves, ripples of impact that stretch far past their lifetime. While most are calculating what they can get now, millionaires are focused on what they can give forward. They see every dollar not just as currency, but as a container for influence, service, and expansion. That is the true embodiment of rich energy. It doesn't just fill your own cup, it overflows into oceans. You're not meant to play small with money. If that were your truth, you'd feel at peace in limitation, comfortable in lack. But you don't. That discomfort inside of you is soul-level refusal. It's not greed, it's divine guidance. It's a knowing that the wealth you're stepping into is meant to serve more than just your needs. It's supposed to amplify your voice, fund your vision, elevate your community, rewrite entire bloodlines, and activate dormant dreams in those who witness your rise. Start thinking of yourself not as someone hoping for more, but as someone born to unlock more for others. That's millionaire consciousness. That's the frequency that breaks ceilings. You weren't sent here to just pay bills and accumulate things. You were sent to recreate systems, to set new standards, to offer an energy so bright it defies generational doubt. When money flows to you, it doesn't just stop in your hands, it passes through with divine direction. When more circulates through you, more can be healed, built, changed, freed. The old way told you to only think about yourself, to survive. to play it safe, to secure the basics and stay in your bubble. But millionaire energy is anything but bubble-born. It is borderless. It thinks in terms of movements, not moments. Mission, not just milestones. What cause burns in your spirit? What change have you secretly believed you are meant to pioneer? What community have you dreamed of uplifting, but labeled as maybe one day because the funds aren't there yet? Millionaires don't ask if, they decide when, and then they align with that now. You are already that catalyst. You are already that visionary. But you must allow yourself to let go of the small stories, the versions of self that say, let me just focus on me. No, focusing on you isn't the end, it's the beginning. Heal yourself to become a healing force. Prosper to unlock prosperity portals for others. Don't stop at self-sufficiency. Expand into system disruption. Millionaire thinking doesn't stop at a goal. It births legacies. When you direct your vision outward as well as inward, you activate the law of circulation. What you give, consciously, generously, and with vision, returns tenfold. Not in obligation, in law. Scarcity says, if I give, I lose. Rich energy knows. When I give with alignment, the universe multiplies me. That's why millionaires donate when they're not yet rich. That's why millionaires fund ideas no one else believes in yet. That's why millionaires create employment, community housing, scholarships, art foundations, and platforms for silenced voices. Millionaire energy has purpose, and that purpose stretches further than the self. Even now, you are being called bigger. Every time your heart aches when you see injustice, that's your signal. Every time you dream of creating something that serves others, that's your blueprint. Every time you write down a fun number for one day when I make it, that's your soul blueprint whispering, start now. You don't need millions in the bank to be a millionaire in energy. What you need is vision. Vision that includes you, but does not stop at you. Vision that feels too big to claim out loud. Until you remember, the more lives you serve, the more reality is compelled to serve you. You can walk this world now as if you're already the impact, as if your voice is already shifting futures. Start seeing your wealth not just in income, but in influence. Think in terms of legacy. Picture your great-grandchildren giving thanks for the decisions you are making today. Let that idea dismantle your fear of desiring more. Desire is not dangerous, it's destiny calling. Thinking bigger than yourself is not selfless. It is the highest form of self-honoring. Because when you expand the blueprint, you give permission for others to do the same. When you stretch the ceiling, others no longer believe in limits. When you rise with intention, they remember what's possible. Now ask yourself, what would a millionaire with your heart create? What would they lead? What waves would they make? What structures would they dismantle and rebuild in gold? Breathe into that. Claim that. Identify with that. Because that's already you. Encoded, ready, waiting only to be activated. You're not just acting rich. You're aligning with your role as a wealthy world-changing. Own it. Speak it. Walk in it. Millionaires think bigger than themselves. And now, so do you. Chapter 9. Millionaires surround themselves with high, positive energy. You become what you're around. Elevate your circle. Elevate your standard. You can't soar thinking like a millionaire while swimming in the energy of mediocrity. Rich energy is contagious, but so is lack, doubt, and fear. The environment you dwell in, both physically and emotionally, whispers into your subconscious every moment. It's not just about eliminating negative people. This is about choosing magnetic energy that mirrors the next level of you. Millionaires become millionaires long before they see the money, often because they dared to walk away from anything that diluted their frequency and surrounded themselves with energy that demanded evolution. Let this truth settle in your bones. Your circle shapes your standards. Think about it. If everyone around you sees $10,000 as a lot, it becomes your ceiling. But if the room you walk into talks effortlessly about hundreds of thousands, investments, foundations, and global ventures, your energy recalibrates. You expand by osmosis, not through competition, but through alignment. High-level environments teach your nervous system how to feel safe in the energy of wealth, safe in success, safe in thinking bigger, feeling deeper, and speaking boldly. So look around. What are you absorbing in silence? Whose opinions do you allow to implant seeds in the fertile ground of your becoming? Do they water your rise, or throw shade on your vision? Millionaires don't entertain energy that feels heavy, doubting, or draining. They don't apologize for shifting relationships, conversations, or even rooms when the energy no longer matches their destiny. This isn't arrogance, it's self-stewardship. You don't build a golden palace while living in a swamp and hoping it changes. You choose the frequency of gold within and around you again and again. High, positive energy isn't loud. It's not always dressed in designer or dripping in surface-level motivation. It's the quiet confidence of people who see your light and don't feel threatened. It's the calm presence of mentors, artists, creators, and disruptors who lead with vision rather than ego. It's conversations that nourish your spirit, not drain your power. It's the spaces where abundance is the norm, where dreaming big is the baseline, not the exception. Millionaires craft their environments with precision. They curate energy like an artist curates a masterpiece. They know energy is either filtering your frequency upwards or pulling you back into patterns of lack. This doesn't mean cutting people off cold or judging others. It's about knowing your vision is sacred and it deserves protection. Honor it. Speak your desires in rooms that can hold them. Share your growth with those who elevate it, not those who mock or minimize. You can love people from afar and still choose to rise. Check in with yourself. What content do you consume? What music are you vibing with while you move through your day? What conversations are shaping your subconscious after sundown? Is your phone a portal to comparison or a temple for transformation? Millionaires are spiritually picky. They choose their inputs with care because they know their inputs become their reality. What enters your mind enters your inner world, and your inner world creates your income. Period. Start building your energetic boardroom. Who's on it? Who inspires your boldness, not your doubt? Who calls you higher just by existing in their truth? You need people real or virtual who normalize levels of success and emotional mastery that stretch you. Find them. Follow them. Listen to their voices more than your inner critic. Read their words more than you read your fears. You don't grow by accident. You grow by intentional saturation. Sometimes, this will require solitude. Solitude is not loneliness. It's sacred space for recalibration. Don't fear the quiet. Millionaires have seasons where their phone doesn't ring much, where Friday nights look like journaling instead of partying, where daytime is filled with books instead of small talk. That's not isolation. That's incubation. Your new reality is being downloaded. Protect the signal. You're tuning into a different frequency now. Honor the silence that arrives when your soul is shifting its circle. Rich energy is not just a vibe. It's a decision. It's walking past the comfortable conversations and sitting yourself at tables that challenge the way you think. It's joining masterminds, getting into energetic containers, consuming next-level content, and immersing yourself in worlds that show you what's possible, not what's probable. Repetition rewires the nervous system. Saturation shifts your identity. When you constantly see wealth, speak wealth, and surround yourself with those who embody wealth, guess what? You begin to resonate with the same. You're already a millionaire. So, who would that millionaire version of you choose to be around? What rooms would feel like home? What voices would echo louder than fear? Step into those spaces now, embody that choice today, and watch everything realign around your elevated standard. Your frequency is your filter. Choose wisely. You're not available for low vibes anymore. Chapter 10. Becoming a millionaire is easy. It's not about working harder. It's about aligning deeper. If you believe money is supposed to be hard, then it will be. If you think wealth is only for those who hustle 24/7, never rest, always grind, then that belief becomes your block. But let's tell a new story now. A true one. Becoming a millionaire is easy, not because you manipulate circumstances, but because you allow energy to move through the path of least resistance. That path is you. Ease isn't laziness. Ease is power without panic. It's aligned action wrapped in certainty. The wealthy don't force, they flow. They trust the laws of energy and embody abundance before it arrives. They walk into rooms like they belong, because in their mind, they already do. They don't wait for signs, they are the sign. They send the signal. That's why the universe responds so effortlessly to them. They've mastered the vibration of receiving. True abundance is natural. It's the frequency you were born into, before you were taught limits. Look around you. Life multiplies without question. Trees grow more leaves without hesitation. Oceans never worry about drying up. The sun doesn't question whether it should shine. Nature is relentless in its expansion, and so are you. But somewhere along the way, someone convinced you that growth had to hurt, that prosperity had to be earned through suffering, that ease was untrustworthy. Let that spell break now. It's not about working to be worthy. You already are. It's not about fixing something broken. There's nothing wrong with you, except maybe the illusion that you have to prove, earn, or grind yourself into wealth. How many times have you said, "when I finally," or "once I figure this out"? Every time you delay your abundance, you delay the opening of the energetic door that's already waiting for you to walk through it. There is a version of you that already lives in total wealth. You're not chasing that self, you're remembering it. Millionaires don't become rich by hoarding effort. They get rich by mastering emotion, imagination, vibration. They align with the knowingness that abundance is their default. Even when the bank account says not yet, their energy says already mine. That's the real flex. That's how manifestations are born, not through panic, but through presence. So ask yourself, what does ease feel like in your body? What does abundance feel like in your breath? Start there. Start with the feeling. That's where money lives. That's the energetic home it returns to. You weren't designed to stress over money. You were never meant to count meals, skip dreams, or beg the universe for a bone. You were meant to create, to channel, to expand. And when you view money as the byproduct of your aligned being, when you believe that money is the natural outcome of your energetic yes, it begins to come naturally, not forced, not feared, flowed. Imagine your life now as you want it, not 5 years from now. Now, picture yourself waking up in your dream home, light spilling through windows larger than your old beliefs. You're sipping something warm, walking barefoot on floors you've walked in your vision countless times before. You're scrolling through your day's schedule not dictated by survival, but curated by desire. You have choices, you fund ideas, you impact lives, you smile, because alignment created this. That's not fantasy. That's programming. That's how the subconscious works, not by logic, but by repetition and emotion. So don't wait for your circumstances to change. Change the frequency you live inside. Speak wealth aloud, even when no one believes you. Especially then. Script your life like you're writing the next chapter of your legacy. Vision so strongly that it becomes louder than fear. Because people don't get rich and then feel rich. They feel rich and then get rich. Say it often. Becoming a millionaire is easy for me. Don't just speak it. Embody it. Taste it when you eat. Hear it when you walk. See it when you close your eyes. Match the internal signal with the outcome you desire, and life has no choice but to comply. Because you're not chasing wealth anymore. You've become the frequency that wealth finds irresistible. Money belongs to you. Ease belongs to you. Power belongs to you. Now, not later. Welcome to the next level, where manifesting millions isn't a grind. It's a natural return to who you've always been. A receiver, a creator, a living embodiment of abundance on autopilot. You don't need to work harder. You need to remember more clearly. You're already rich. Act like it. Speak like it. Walk like it. And reality won't have a choice but to rise and reflect your truth. Chapter 11. Wealth responds to identity, not just desire. Desire wakes the dreamer. Identity builds the empire. You don't manifest wealth just because you want it. Millions of people want money. Millions cry out to the skies with whispered prayers and shouted pleas. But the universe doesn't respond to desperation. It responds to certainty, to alignment, to embodiment. It responds to who you are, not who you're hoping to someday become. That's the secret that shifts you from trying to having. Wealth doesn't show up to validate your potential. It shows up to reflect your chosen identity. Right now, in this moment, you are either being a millionaire or you're rehearsing lack. There is no in-between. Let that settle. You aren't waiting for something outside of you to grant access. You're not on the sidelines hoping to be picked by life. You're the author, the director, the lead character of your wealth story, and you write the next scene every time you decide how you think, how you walk, how you speak, how you see yourself in the mirror. Millionaire isn't just a bank account. It's an energetic posture, a frequency, a way of breathing. The real millionaire shift isn't found in accounting, it's in identity. Money is simply the visible smoke rising from the invisible fire of who you believe you are. That is why affirmations alone aren't enough. You can recite, "I am wealthy," 100 times a day, but if the dominant vibration beneath those words is, "I'm still not there yet," then you're only echoing emptiness. The energy behind the words must match the reality you're calling in, because the frequency of wealth doesn't beg, it beholds. It doesn't strive, it stabilizes. It doesn't fear, it knows. The moment you stop seeing yourself as someone on their way to success and begin showing up as someone who already lives from it, your world rearranges, ideas flow more easily, opportunities nudge their way to your door, people sense your confidence before you say a word. Life stops mirroring your hopes and starts reflecting your knowing. This isn't about ego or performance, it's about alignment. Rich identity isn't arrogance, it's resonance. It's not faking anything, it's remembering who you are underneath every fleeting fear and conditioning cloud. You're not manifesting for approval or validation, you're embodying your birthright. Let's go deeper. Wealth doesn't just appear in your life, it is magnetized by who you decide you are in silence, when no one's watching. It responds to the version of you that doesn't just want more, but commands more with calm expectation. Imagine walking into every room with the energy of someone who already has everything they need, and more. No need to prove, no need to hustle for worth. Just presence, just power, just peace. That's rich frequency. That's the energy that doesn't chase, it attracts. If you constantly see yourself as the one who's still trying, still building, still working their way up, then you bind yourself to becoming, never arriving. The gateway to abundance opens the moment you'll dare to cross over from becoming to being, right here, right now. So ask yourself, how would your millionaire self breathe in this moment? What would they focus on? What would they say no to? How would they treat their time? What would no longer bother them? Who would they spend energy on, and who would they release with love? And most importantly, what would they already believe to be true? Because once you shift the internal belief, the external reality submits. See, the subconscious doesn't know the difference between a vision vividly imagined and a memory. It simply collects the dominant energy you live in and builds your life to match it. The more your inner world is saturated in wealth identity, not hope, but embodiment, the more your outer world shifts to serve that version of you. It's already unfolding. You may not see the full picture yet, but the foundation has been poured. Every time you act, think, and feel from the lens of identity instead of lack, you accelerate the timeline. You bend reality. You rewrite your neural pathways and train your frequency to hold more wealth, more peace, more confidence. You don't wish your way to millions. You walk your way there through identity. Quiet power, calm certainty. The frequency of, "I already am. The world is just catching up. And trust me, it will." Chapter 12. You're already a millionaire. Now act like it. The world doesn't respond to what you want. It reflects who you are. And who you are, right now, in this moment, is already someone who holds wealth. Not someday. Not when the money comes. Now. This instant. Within your breath, your posture, your attitude, your decisions, your vibration, your expectation, you are already a millionaire. And life rearranges itself based on that truth. It's easy to think money is something you must chase, convince, and claw your way toward, but that's an illusion from yesterday's consciousness, the version of you that believed in limits, struggle, and waiting your turn. That version fades now. You've made the choice to lead with your energy, not your bank balance. You're not faking wealth, you're remembering it, stepping into the original frequency you were born to express. Abundance is not foreign to you, it's native. You've just decided to stop denying it. Look around you, not with your physical eyes, but with the eyes of your wealthy identity, the inner lens of truth that sees potential and power in all things. The coffee in your hand, the phone you touch, the shoes you wear, all reflections of wealth consciousness, if you decide they are. The money may not be in your current account yet, but the frequency is in your current reality. You are already holding the signal. Your energy is announcing it. You command the attention of the universe when you stand in it fully. Millionaires don't become rich when the digits appear. They become rich the moment they refuse to argue for their limitations. The moment they stop asking, "Is it possible for me?" and start declaring, "It is done." That's a shift so powerful it makes time irrelevant. Because manifestation isn't decided by effort alone, it's decided by certainty, embodiment, alignment. And you've been aligning with wealth this entire book, one expansive thought at a time. You have refused to collapse under temporary evidence. You've practiced surrender without passivity. You've chosen vision over circumstance. And that makes you dangerous to doubt. It makes you powerful beyond measure. Because real wealth is not a destination, it's an identity. And once you wear it, feel it, live it, the external world has no choice but to follow. So from this moment, don't just think like a millionaire. Make decisions like one. Breathe like one. Walk into rooms like one. Speak your truth like one. Mute the voice that says, let's wait and see. And amplify the one that says, I make it real by choosing it now. Because every thought you think is a vote for your future. And your future hears you clearly when your soul is unwavering. You don't need permission to act rich when you already are. And you don't need proof to believe when the belief itself is the proof. The $1 million manifestations are already swirling in your field. You're not creating from scratch. You're stepping into alignment with what's been ready for you all along. No more shrinking. No more apologizing for your desires. No more small talk with scarcity. You've grieved your old version enough. You've entertained doubt enough. Now your wealth identity speaks louder than your fear. And you walk with the quiet fire of someone who knows what's coming, because they've already received it internally. That's the embodiment that bends reality. If you want the world to treat you like a millionaire, treat yourself like one first. Bless your morning like your day is sacred. Dress like your future is requesting your presence now. Respond to life like it's here to serve your highest good. Because it is. Every detail is conspiring for your abundance when you are no longer arguing against it. There's nothing left to wait for. You've arrived. You're not accessing this wealth vibration for 10 minutes a day. You're becoming a permanent resident. This is your home frequency now. So claim it. Breathe it in deeper. Stretch into it. Expand your capacity to hold the joy, the ease, the overflow. Start now. As if it's already done. Because it is. You're not becoming a millionaire. You are one. Now act like it. And watch the world catch up.